Good morning. Good morning. Hold on. Let me get everything up and running here. Just a little bit of stuff to take care of. And as I must say, hold on, I'm looking. As you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here as I'm getting all of these places working. All right, I think I've got everything up and running, and it's a beautiful day today, and I'm super excited and happy to be here with you today. So, like I said, um, hold on, let me copy this real quick. Oh, I don't need to on that. Hold on, I'm sorry. Duh. All right, let me get this other thing up and running. I have to be able to see everything on my phone as well. All right. Got it. Almost forgot that one important piece. It's all a juggling act in the mornings now with all the hoops that we're having to jump through to be able to stream in multiple places. Facebook is not real happy with that. So, therefore, Instagram has a couple of hoops that you have to go through as well. So, very interesting place that we're in now. And it's learning to navigate all of it, embrace it as something new and acceptable and profitable, whatever it is, to kind of reframe how we're looking at it. And so that's where I'm at right now, reframing all of these hoops so that I can find some joy in the experience, right? And it's an interesting thing, as we talk a lot about our journey, and as we've got this idea of the way that things work and we get it all ironed out, and then somebody throws a wrench in it and everything changes. And so that's what we're dealing with right now. Anybody that is a person that goes live on these different platforms and streaming into other places, or we're all beginning to navigate it better, right? And it is just a reminder of the fact that we're always, no matter what, going to be having something happen that puts us at a different level and test us sometimes to see how dedicated we are to what we're doing, to even learn to navigate all these things. There may be, I don't know any of them, but there may be people that just decided, heck, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know any of those people, but normally there are those people somewhere. Luckily, I don't know any of them. Not that they're bad people, but it's just not the energy that I want in my life, right? All right, so um, let's see where we're at here with all. Do, do, do. All right. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Vicky Poole, and I'm a transformational coach and a hypnotist. And then I have this group that I'm primarily in, which is Make Lasting Change. And the name's about to change. I sent in did a little poll yesterday all about it. But it is, I love doing this and offering this extra stuff in the group. And I have people that I'm bringing in, two experts this month that are is going to be very, very powerful. And I'll be, as this week goes, what day is it? It's Thursday. Okay. So my goal is by Sunday to have it all out, so you'll be able to say that you're coming or whatever. But back to who I am. One of the things that I love is that I started this journey as a health coach because I wanted to affect my health and my yo-yo dieting my whole life, right? And then I kind of branched out and became a life coach, and then I became a master transformational coach, and then a hypnotist. So one of the things that's unique about me, and it's not like I'm the only person that does it, but I can't answer for what everybody else does, only what I do. But I'm not just a hypnotist. So when I have a client that wants hypnosis, they get me and all of my other stuff, the health coaching, the life coaching, the transformational coaching. So we have conversations, and it's getting underneath what's going on, and not just saying, okay, I want to lose weight, and then we do a hypnosis sessions all about losing weight. No, we dive into some different things about it. So I'm coaching you, and then I do the hypnosis um, to solidify it, right? To make the change a little bit faster. And so I love doing it this way because, like I said, I was a coach first. And then, so I'm always wearing my coaching hat. And so I've discovered that I take because I am certified in 5 different hypnosis modalities, and actually training right now for another one. But what I do is I take the things that resonate with me the most in each one of those and make it mine. And then, with the coaching, good morning, Kimmy. Good morning. It's great to have you here. And then the thing that I do as well is, I learned certain things, techniques, and everything as a health coach, a life coach, and a transformational coach. And so I have, over the years, I have changed it to where I've made it my own. And so I go at things a little bit different than maybe I did when I first graduated and was just following their protocol, right? And so all the things that I do, good morning, Lynn. It's good to have you here. Um, the things that I do are a little bit different. And then each person that I work with, I tailor everything for you. So, who I am is a transformational coach and a hypnotist. So, each person that I work with, it's like I don't have stock questions to ask. I just get in touch with who you are, and then I go from there. And then some people get hypnosis and some people don't. But most people get, well, everybody gets the coaching part. And then I decide as I'm going through, is a visualization best? Is NLP, EFT, is hypnosis? It's what is going to create the best effect for you. So that's just a little bit about me. I was trying to spend some time talking before I got to the affirmation and the journal prompt so that someone would be here. Yay. So thank you, ladies, for being here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this affirmation and journal prompt. Hold on. All right, so our affirmation for today is I rewrite my story with joy and enthusiasm each day. And one of the things that we've been talking about this month is that it's the game of life and how we play it. And then it's also, writing your story of who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world, right? And remember, it's what we focus on, we create, correct? And so can you ladies agree with that? Yes. Say, put one in the comments or something. Let me know, or a yes, let me know that you agree with that statement, that what we focus on, we create. And it's like the thing that I talk about all the time. When I bought my Prius, when I bought it, I'd never really seen any on the road. It was unique. I didn't, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And so I bought the car. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. I bought the car, and after I bought it, it's silver. But after I bought it, it was like I saw silver Priuses everywhere. And then one day I came out of the grocery store, and the row that I was parked in, it would look like they were just Priuses all down this row. And the thing is, they didn't just suddenly pop out of the sky because I bought one. They were always there. I just didn't notice them. And the interesting thing is, the car that I had prior was a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a Hemi. And I say that with the Hemi because I was quite proud of that Hemi part, because man, it had some power, right? So I go to this Prius that's not as powerful, and it was quite an adjustment. But the reason I bring that up is when I had that Jeep, when I would go out, I saw Jeeps everywhere. And it's because that's what I had and that's what I focused on. So the same with my Prius, right? I As soon as I got one, it all of a sudden my field of vision had them in there. And so when we're creating the story of who we are, we decide, what do we want to be? Who do we want to be? And then as you're making that decision, right, you decide and start writing your story with joy and enthusiasm each day. So that what does that look like? That looks like maybe one of the things that would help everybody, and I got some notes here, so I want to refer to them, is that one of the places that I get most of my inspiration from is going outside in nature, right? Whether that just means I go, like yesterday, I just went and sat out on my patio. That's where I had my lunch. That's where I had my dinner, and it was like listening to the sounds, and that just gave me inspiration for things. Maybe sometimes I go for a walk. So it is. Oh yes, Jeep with a Hemi. Yes, I know. I loved it. I loved it, and it just got to where it was having some issues, and it was like, I think it's time to move on. So that's what I did. But so I invite you, as you're rewriting your story, to put yourself into a place where you can get the inspiration that can come to you. So spend some time outside today, if at all possible, whether that means you go outside for 5 minutes or you go sit out there and you have your lunch or your dinner. And even if the weather is not conducive for having a comfortable time out there, still at some point today, go outside. I don't care if it's raining, if it's snowing, whatever the hell is going on, go outside and just give yourself the opportunity of taking that breath. And the breathe the air outside is very different from breathing the air inside. So give yourself that gift of this breath of life, right? And so yes, beautiful. I love that, Kimmy. And then one of the things that I want you to do is, starting today, tonight before you go to bed, I want you to kind of set an intention for what you want to do for the next day. So what I want you to do is just kind of decide, in the morning when I get up, and this is not going to be this, a bunch of tasks and things that you do towards your business or whatever. It's going to be things that you do for you. So will you take some time to meditate? Will you take some time to journal? Will you take time to get on the live? So it's like making a decision at night before you go to bed that tomorrow I'm going to rewrite this story. And these are some things that I'm going to do to help me rewrite my story each day. And, for me, I like to listen to things on, like I'm listening to an audiobook right now that is just amazing. And so I listen to the audiobook. I sometimes I will actually listen to a little bit of a YouTube thing that's interesting to me, that I feel like is helping me to be the best me possible, right? Opening my mind to different ideas and things, because we don't know what we don't know, and so it's wonderful to listen to other. Hold on, let me take this earpiece out of my ear. It's wonderful to be open to ideas and inspirations that can come to you, and you'll get the little wiggle in your mind that says, this is the one that I need to listen to today. And so pay attention, because your intuition, your God voice, is always talking to you if you're listening. So by going out in nature, you're listening to your God voice, your intuition, the universe. And then at night before you go to bed, breathe a little bit and listen again and say, okay, tomorrow, how am I going to start my day? And just decide. And then no matter what you do, like one of the things I talk about all the time is keeping your word to yourself, right? So whatever you decide to do for the next morning, make sure you do. So let's say, for instance, you said, I'm going to journal, and you get up and you start doing other things, and all of a sudden you think, I said I was going to journal and I haven't done it yet, but I don't have much time. Get the damn journal out and just write in there, I promised I would journal today. Here I am. I will do this again either later or I'll do it tomorrow. And so you're teaching your subconscious mind that you keep your word to yourself and you're doing it for you. So by taking that action, you are bringing more of that out in you, right? So that is helping you to write your story. Again, the story of you is a person that keeps their word to themselves, that does what they say they're going to do, right? And it's powerful when you can do that for yourself. And then, you know, another thing is, how do you nourish your soul? Right? Is that reading the Bible? Is that by praying? Is that going outside and being in nature? What is it that you do that feeds your soul, that lights you up and lets you know that you are not a little tiny speck of something on the earth? You're a presence. You're bigger than that, right? You're a child of God. You're a beacon of light for someone, right? It's a beautiful thing to nourish your soul. And it's figuring out what that is for you, because everybody's different. There are some people that are reading the Bible and that's how they do it. And that may not be you. Taking pics of randomness. Yes, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, Kimmy. So each time you do that, make sure, and you might already do this, but just in case you don't, but each time you do, acknowledge that this is what you're doing to feed your soul, right? So it's not just, oh, that's a beautiful picture and I want to share it. It's like taking that, what makes it different from what you're always doing, which I know you're always taking pictures, is that you find moments that you acknowledge it as something for your soul. And it's a beautiful, powerful thing, right? Put your hand on your heart, and just say, I feed my soul now with this action, because it is getting it into that place where it's special. So it's like when you start to eat your food and you want to get the most nourishment from your food, it's not how many bites you take and how much you chew, and all those things are great for feeding your body, right? But the thing that really, really sets it apart is to take that moment before you eat to bless your food, to say a quick prayer, to acknowledge that this is a blessing that you have this food to nourish your body. And by doing that, it has been proven, and I can't tell you exactly where, but I know I've read it, but it is proven that just by taking the moment before you eat to get into that place of gratitude and love and appreciation for what you're about to eat and how it's going to feed your body and nourish you, right? Nourish every cell. It's doing what it needs to do, right? Just by doing that, the food tastes better. And it actually does work in your body much differently than it would if you just sat down and ate. No matter how you would eat it, it's that action beforehand that creates the difference in what the food does for your body. So it's the same with whatever it is you're doing for your soul. Like with you, it's Kemi, it's therapeutic. And so taking pictures of randomness feeds your soul. It's taking that moment before you take the picture to acknowledge how it is feeding your soul and how grateful you are that you have the opportunity to do this, right? So find a time today to acknowledge whatever it is that you're doing for your soul, and by acknowledging that, you're going to find that you can rewrite your story in such an amazing way and just really get into it. Because remember, the affirmation for today is, I rewrite my story with joy and enthusiasm each and every day, because every single day we're writing the story of our lives. And so we begin the night before by deciding what is the first thing that we're going to do, right? And then let the day, you're pre-planning, you're acknowledging that this is the story of me. This is who I choose to be. And so it's different from just going, because like I've said so many times, it's like you're sitting in a boat in the ocean. And by doing these things, you're actually not only got oars to move the boat, you've got a sail to harness the wind, but man, oh man, you're doing this. You've got an engine in the back of this, a motor in the back of this boat. And so you can direct it anywhere you want to, right? I mean, even with the wind, you can direct it, but still, if the wind stops, you're stopped. So let's do the things we can to have the motor on the boat and not just the oars, because that's going to move you, but it's slower and exhausting, right? And then the wind, you have to do a lot of work to get the sails exactly where the wind is and get you going, right? That's exhausting, but much more powerful than the oars. But mwah, you get the activities going that gets that engine on the back of the boat. Oh my gosh, watch out, world. You can make so many different changes in your life. Exactly what you want. And it starts right here, writing that story, right? All right, so let me get to the, wait a minute, I gotta paste it on here. All right, let me get to the journal prompt. All right. So what is one change you would make in your life story to bring more joy and enthusiasm into your daily routine? And, speaking of what I just talked about, what is something that you can change in your daily routine? And for me, this was a reminder for me that when I sit down to eat today, I'm going to say a gratitude blessing for the fact that I have delicious food to eat, right? And then, as I do my journaling to this morning, because as soon as I get off here, I think I have time to do some more journaling, and I will journal. And before I do, I'm going to sit in some massive gratitude and take some breaths. And I may even do that outside, but I will be outside today. So there's several different places that just what we've talked about this morning, there's several places that I will change what I'm doing and how I'm showing up with it so that I can bring all of this wonder to my life story. And each day you make a choice. Do I want to be sitting in the ocean, just letting the waves take me where it wants to go? Do I want to be struggling with the oars? Do I want to have the sail for the wind? Or do I want a boat with an engine that I can just direct to this boat anywhere I want to? So you get to decide. And some people don't want to go with the engine. They don't want things to go fast. They want things to go really slow. And maybe they're so used to things being hard that it seems impossible to even think that there's a way to move your life around with an engine at the back of the boat, right? And, so there's so many limiting beliefs that show up for us when we start doing this. And so just pay attention when you are thinking about this, what shows up, and write about it. And then see how can you change that one thing in your mind to create this life story of enthusiasm, and see what you can do every day that creates this amazing life. Because let's face it, one of the things I've said so many times is when I get to the end of my life, I want to look at it and think, oh, yes, it was amazing. It doesn't mean I didn't have hard times, because the Lord knows I have. But it means that I feel like I have played full out, that I have made a difference for others. I have created things that have helped other people. I have created things that helped me. I have just kept going no matter what. And so if that's the way you feel as well, And I kind of feel like if you're part of this group, that you kind of want that too. And so if you do, then start here. Start with looking at what's coming up for you when you say this. What is one change you would make in your life story to bring more joy and enthusiasm into your daily life? And as you're thinking about that and you thinking about the oars, is that where you're comfortable? Or are you more comfortable with the wind, where you can harness the wind, right? Still a hard go. And there may be times that you'll just stop dead in your tracks and you might sit there for days and not be able to move. And or do you want to have that engine so that you can go full out to wherever you want to go? And when you're ready to take a break, you just cut the engine off and you say, hey, right now, this is me time, you know? And how do you want your life to go? What do you want? And what shows up when you're thinking about these different things of how you move in your life and how you harness what you want to do in your life? So, what shows up for you when all of this is going on, when we're thinking about all this? And just write as much as you can, because when you can dive in and see what some of your limiting beliefs are, oh my gosh, it is so powerful to be able to move that and change those limiting beliefs to more empowering beliefs. And this is one of the things that I help a lot of people with. So if that's you and you want to reach out to me, you're more than happy to. It doesn't matter to me. I want things to be as amazing as possible for you. So maybe you get everything you need in this group and use this group for all that you can. So if you've got something that's showing up that's a possible limiting belief, being a guest on a podcast, wait a minute, hold on a second. Being a guest on podcasts, doing my lives and podcast, sharing my life experience. It's how I overcame a lot. Hoping can influence someone to have a better life. Yes, beautiful, Kimmy, beautiful. And so when you're thinking about all of that stuff, sit with yourself thinking about it and see what shows up. Because I will say, especially when you've had a lot of things that have happened, sometimes, and I'm not saying this is you at all, Kimmy, I'm just saying that sometimes, we have a belief deep down that things are too hard, or we have a belief deep down that maybe we don't deserve whatever it is that we're trying to create. And, it comes from, the things that have happened in our past. Remember, I talk about our lens of the world, and it is so many things that are in our minds that are not really true. And so this helps us to uncover what those untruths are that we have in the back of our mind. And those will rear their head when you're least expecting it, when you're really making progress. And so I want you to be aware when you're really making progress and suddenly you feel like, oh, and something comes up that just kind of feels like, oh, this is too much. I can't do this. This is hard. And those kinds of thoughts start popping in, then there's a limiting belief there that it's time to uncover and remove, right? And so all of these things that we're doing are helping you to not only tell your new story, the story of who you are, and to embody it, but it's being able to uncover, lens of the world. That could be the new name of this group. Hmm. I'll have to think about that. Let me write that down. All right. So, all right. So I wrote that down. So I will put that in my data banks, and let's just see what I think about that. But it is amazing that we have, and I've been doing this work for a very long time, and I still will have a limiting belief pop in that I didn't even know that I had, or I thought I had worked on, and it shows up again. And then it's like, okay, I see that it's here. Now what? And it's a lot of times I go to my coach and say, this is what's showing up for me. And how can I get past it? Because it's like, like I say, we can't see our own stuff. And so I have a coach that helps me with things that are showing up that um, I may not be able to um, look at it from the perspective, because I'm in it. When you're in it, it's hard to see how to get out of it. It's hard to see where to go from there. And that's why you need a coach. You need somebody that's there to help you. And so when something comes up for you, if you want, you can add in the group. You can put in the group, this is coming up for me. I discovered that I have this limiting belief and this is what it is. And just by getting it out there, there'll be someone that'll pop in and give you some insights about something, right? And I go in there periodically and I'll see somebody makes a post and then I'll go in and add something. So there is so much that you can get from this group, but you have to utilize it. You have to go in and ask questions, offer something, do something, because it's kind of like, the story of the man that's wanting to be saved from the flood, and God sends in the log to get in on, and then he sends the boat, and then he sends the helicopter and all these things, and he doesn't do anything because he says, well, God's going to save me. When he goes to the front of God and the pearly gates, and he says, God, I asked you to save me. And he said, I sent you a log, I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter, and you didn't do anything. So that's a reminder that this is your place to stretch out, to ask for help, to just voice something that's coming up for you. And that is one of the things that you do to save yourself from the flood, right? Is to actually utilize this group for the tool that it is. And if you'll do that, man, oh man, the difference that you'll find in your life, and you'll actually affect others, right? So anybody that is wanting to help other people, be posting in the group, because this is a group of people that are wanting to make lasting change, right? And what if you went in there today and you shared something about something that you're dealing with? And all of a sudden, somebody that was dealing with the same thing says, oh my God, it's not just me. I'm not weird. I'm not lazy. I'm not whatever it is that they're telling themselves about what they're dealing with. They say, oh my gosh, she's dealing with this too. And then you can start a conversation. And you have, just by doing that, you have helped someone else. And if someone posts something in the group and you think, oh, I know something that they can do to kind of help, have a conversation with them. I don't mean private message them, because some people really don't want you to do that. But, that's, you create a friendship, then you can do that. But comment on something that they say and encourage people. It is giving you this gift of being able to share your gifts and talents. Start here. Learn how to do it here. And most of you know how. It's just, I know we get busy. We get, there's like a lot of us are in a lot of groups, right? And so it's almost impossible to constantly be in them. And I know that because, like I said, I'm in a lot of groups too. But utilize this if you can. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to begin this journey of changing your life story. You can start here. All right. So I need to go ahead and call it a day, or the end of this morning inspiration. But before I do, I want to make sure that anybody that's watching the replay, put hashtag replay and then share something if you can in the comments, and make a post. Just let people know that they're not alone, right? And I love that the way this community comes together. Change your view of your lens of the world. That's it. The name change for the group. Change your view of your lens of the world. I'm going to write that one down too. All right. So take the affirmation. Let's get back to the affirmation. I rewrite my story with joy and enthusiasm each day. So put that on your sticky note, your index cards, the mirror with a chalk marker. Put it as the screensaver on your phone. Put it somewhere where you see it. And then during the day, you can say this to yourself with enthusiasm, right? Not just deadpan, but enthusiasm. I, not only do I rewrite it, I get to rewrite my story with joy and enthusiasm each and every day. I get to. That is my gift, my God given gift to write my story every single day, right? Do it with enthusiasm, utilize it. It's amazing when you think about just because something happened to you yesterday, last year, last month, 5 years ago, that doesn't have to have anything to do with you now. You can rewrite the story of who you are because it's not the things that happen to us that create the amazing us. It's how we react to the things that happen to us. Things happen to people all the time, right? I've got a bunch of stories about that. I know you guys do too. And so it's how did you find that gift? How did you find that knowledge in there? Because I talk about this a lot. It's shit's going to happen, right? That's just the nature of the world we live in. It is the world. It is right here. And the things that happen to us are for something, right? And no matter how bad they were, there is something we can learn from it, that we can grow from, that we can become from. We can choose to see the wonders of whatever happened, or we can be a victim of it. And I, for one, do not like being a victim of anything. I choose and I decide that I'm going to grab that lesson all out and do whatever I can to learn and internalize that lesson, right? So I rewrite my story all the time. And so it's your time to rewrite your story. And then the journal prompt: what is one change you could make in your life story to bring more joy and enthusiasm into your daily life? So get your journal out, get your notebook out, put the date up there, put the affirmation in the journal prompt, and just go out in nature today. Sit and breathe and just get centered in this space and ask yourself the question, what is one change? And then the thing that's going to happen is that more than one will pop in your mind and you think, oh, I don't know which one. So write all of them down, just brain dump, whatever comes up, just write and write and write until you're exhausted from writing. And then if you want to, come back and do it again, because you'll be really shocked with the ideas and things that come up. And then you've got a list now. It's not a list of, oh, I've got to do this. It's a list of, I could do one of these things would change my life drastically, change my life amazingly well, right? Which one do I choose first? And then you just let intuition guide you. What is the one thing I need to do today? What is the one thing I get to do today to change my life story, right? To be an amazing, amazing story. So just think of it. If you were writing the story of your life, instead of writing about all the bad things that have happened in the past, right? Because that's what we typically do. Take some time today to look at the things that have happened in your past. They're lessons. There's things that you've learned, not the actual things that happened. It's the lessons that you learned. And how does your story change when you use those lessons to bring a better life to you, right? And just start writing out, what does that look like? Mm, mm, mm. Because remember, what you focus on, you bring about. So focus today, tomorrow, every day, just a touch. If you don't have time to do a lot, just a touch makes a huge difference. Take the time every day to look at the story of your life and how it plays out. So I used to, I would sit, looking at the time, I would sit and I would say, okay, How do I want my day to go tomorrow? And I would actually, I wake up, I feel good, I go get my coffee, and I would go through the whole day and I would write out a story of what that story of that day was going to be like. And it wasn't always identical, but it was pretty damn close, right? And most of the time, we wake up dreading or thinking about how things are not going to be what we want to be, right? And that's just nature, right? Because our conscious and our subconscious mind, it's there, it's protecting us all the time. So it's giving you worst case scenarios so that you can protect yourself. So it's like back in the olden days, in the caveman days, the reason that that was so helpful was because you didn't just go walking willy-nilly down the path and just be dreaming of the berries that you're going to get. You actually had the ability to look and see, is there a tiger over there? Is there this over there? Is there somebody over here about to get me? Is that berry poisonous? What is it? And so it was there to protect us. Now we don't need that kind of protection right now, right? Um, so it's utilize this process to create the story of what you want in your life, this new story of your life. It's beautiful, beautiful. And I can't wait to hear how this works for you and how you feel in the process of doing it. All right. So you have an exceptional day, an exceptional day. And I love each and every one of you. And I am so happy to be here with you. Mwah.